What's up, y'all? It's your boy Double J here, back with another video. Oh man, it's dirty back there. I gotta straighten up back there. My bed ain't made up. But yeah, man, my truck went down last week, man, in North Carolina, man. Of course, y'all know what it is, death issues. I stopped in. I had to load the pickup in Greenville, South Carolina last Tuesday. I was dead heading from Charlotte, going to Greenville, South Carolina. And I stopped in South Carolina at the TA. I believe that's Gaston. I can't remember what TA it was, but it's only TA on 77 between North Carolina and South Carolina. So I stopped there, fueled up, and topped off my DEF, right? Went to pick my load up, which was like 7 more miles up the road. Running my truck the whole time because it was hot. And everything's working fine. I got my load, got loaded, got back on the road, got this on 77. Like soon as I got in Charlotte, my DEF light started blinking. And then I got deteriorated down to 55 miles an hour on the highway. So I'm like, oh my God, man, come on, don't do this now, man. After I just picked the load up, of course. So my truck does that when I'm pulling real heavy loads and I go up a hill. It does that. My DEF will start flashing, but once I clear the hill, it'll go away. I don't know what that was. I think it's my I read something where it says your NOS sensors is bad. You may need to start changing your NOS sensor. So that's my next thing that I'm going to do. Change. I think it's 2 NOS sensors on the freightliners. But I was able to, but it didn't happen. So I rode for like 2 hours doing 55 miles an hour, round 5 o'clock traffic. You know what I'm saying? Going through North Carolina on 77. So imagine everybody that was pissed off behind me. So I was able to make it to exit 100, the Flying J on exit 100. I forgot the little town it was in. And I said, you know what? I'm a siphon. I know it had something to do with DEF. So I went in there and bought a siphon, and I started siphoning the DEF out that I bought from the TA. And then I went and bought 2 jugs. So I siphoned all of the DEF out, and I bought the 2 jugs, and I filled it, back up with the 2 jugs, and let the truck run and see if it would. Then I did a regen to see if it would clear my codes. Didn't do it. So I ended up calling these guys here. These guys, oh, sorry, it's upside down. I ended up calling these guys right here. It's a 24-hour towing service in that area. They're about 8 miles up the road. He said, yeah, we'll come and take a look at it. And see if we can hook the computer up and see if we find out what's going on. I said, okay, cool. So they sent the guy out. He hooked up the computer to my truck. And the first thing he said was, and I saw it on the computer, it said CPC malfunction. I'm like, oh my God. At this time, I didn't know what the CPC was. So I'm like, oh my God, that don't even sound right. That don't even sound good. I'm like, okay, so what now? I'm like, what do I need to do? And he was like, I said, how much is that? And he said, well, brand new is like $5,000. But we have a guy that can remake them, because right now it's a brand new one is like 12 months, a year back order. There's shops all over the place waiting on CPCs for trucks, but there's a back order on them. But we have a guy that redoes them for $3,000. So I'm like, okay. I said, well, how long is it going to take for y'all to fix my truck if I let y'all fix it? He said it's going to take 4 weeks. I said, 4 weeks? I said, man, I can't sit down for no 4 weeks, man. What, you crazy? I said, I can't sit down for no 4 weeks. I just came off a whole time for like a week and a half. So, I'm just getting back on the road and everything like that. I'm like, man, I can't sit down for no 4 weeks. So he was like, so I get on the phone with I'm on the phone with my wife at this time too, and she starts Googling some CPCs and guys that redoes them in this area to see if the guy was, legit and everything like that. So she found this guy out of Kinley, North Carolina, I believe that was, that redoes them. for $3,000, and he has a turnaround time where you get it like next day or in 2 days for like an extra $500 or something like that. So I'm like, okay, boom. If I take this truck to y'all take my CPC off, ship it to him, I'll pay the extra whatever to get it fixed so I can have my thing back released, my truck back released within a week. You know, can y'all do that? He was like, yeah, but it's gonna take longer than a week and such like that, because it takes it takes us to get it off, ship it that day. They're gonna take about a day to get to him. Listen, I don't care about none of that. Can I have my truck back within 2 weeks? Other than 4 weeks, can I have my truck back? Like, yeah, we can work that out. Blah blah blah. So now I'm about to drop my truck off at this guy. I'm about to follow him to his shop, versus getting a tow. Because right now I'm at 55 miles an hour. I can drive 8 miles up the road, 55 miles an hour. But then I sat down and I thought about it, man. I'm like, wait a minute, man. I'm not getting no codes for no CPC or anything like that. All my codes are pertaining to death. So how is it coming up on his computer that my CPC is malfunctioning? Like, I don't know if they can go on their computer and tell that computer what to do, or if he hooked it up and pulled up an older truck diagnosis and showed me that. But I really didn't pay attention to his computer on what he was doing, or if that was my truck or what, man. But I don't know how he pulled up a CPC malfunction on his computer once he hooked up to my truck. And all I'm getting is death codes. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna just bite the bullet, and I started looking up freightliners near me. So I'm at this point, I'm gonna be down a week. I might as well take it to Freightliner, the people who make the truck and deal with these trucks on a daily basis, and let them deal with it, versus going to a 24-hour, I don't know, never heard of him a day in my life or anything like that guy, and letting him deal with my truck and keeping my truck there. I just didn't feel comfortable doing that. So I ended up, the next morning, I just shut down for that night and got up the next morning, and I said, you know what, I called a couple of towing companies to get the prices on towing to see how much it cost me to tow me there, because I had to go to Velocity in Hickory, because no other Freightliner had trailer parking. I didn't want to leave my trailer where you couldn't leave your trailer at the Flying J, and plus I'm loaded, I'm responsible for that load. So I said, you know what, I'm deteriorated down to 55 miles an hour. Worst case scenario, I just be holding up traffic for 89 miles. I had to go 80 miles back to Hickory. So I cranked up the next morning. I'm leaving out the parking lot. You're creeping through the parking lot. I don't drive fast through the truck parking lots and everything like that. I'm creeping. But I noticed that at this time, okay, now I done deteriorated down to 5 miles an hour. Can't go 5 miles an hour, 80 miles on the highway. Not gonna happen. Got back in my parking spot. Called the tow guy, had it towed to Velocity in Hickory. I didn't tell when we got there, I didn't tell them what the previous guy told me, because I wanted them to do their own diagnostic and tell me that my CPC is bad. So just to see if they're gonna say that. Did diagnostic. The next day they called me and said that, hey, we got an invoice for you. They emailed me over the invoice. Didn't say anything about no damn CPC. That's something on my chin. Didn't say nothing about CPC. All they said was dozer valve was clogged up, and they recommended a depth awning kit to put on there, which helps prevent crystallization in your your FCR filter over here. I think that's the filter, SCR filter over there, excuse me. And I said, cool. I said, well, that, prevent this from happening again. He said that's the whole point of the depth awning system, is prevent that from happening. The crystallization, which causing your depth light to go like that, and to deteriorate down like that. I said, okay, well, go ahead and fix it. But the point of this video is, these guys here, not saying that they was trying to get over on me or bashing them or anything like that. This is my experience. entitled to talk on these guys. So this is my experience I had with them. It's like me leaving a review. I just don't know how they said that my CPC was bad, you know? And I looked up on YouTube and I Googled it, what happens when your CPC goes bad? And my truck was doing none of that. Your truck is hard to crank, all right, like it doesn't want to crank. It your gauges be going crazy up here on your dashboard. My truck wasn't doing none of that. It just my def light was flashing and my truck deteriorated. So I was like, why did they give me that code? Why was it coming up for them like that and it didn't come up for Freightliner like that? So my thing is, you know, just watch these 24-hour roadside service people, man. You know, they're just trying to make a buck. You know, I got charged $500 and almost $600 just for him coming out 8 miles up the road, coming out and hooking a computer up to my truck to tell me that my CPC was bad, which was a bad diagnosis. $600 already out the door before I even get into a shop. Then the toll was $13.75. So now I'm at over $2,000 before I even get into a shop. Then once they fixed the truck and everything like that, I spent over $4,000 to get my truck out of the shop. So that's I spent. No, they added that bill too. So with the tow, it was a little over $4,000 with the tow, because they didn't take card over the phone, so I had to add it to the bill at the Freightliner. And then they got an up price on that. So now I'm saying, if you do that, they can charge you the tow bill plus I think 20% or something like that on top of that fee. So that was an extra $500 and something I had to spend after for the tow. So I ended up spending like $1,900 for the tow and all. And just imagine that if I would have let that guy do my truck, he would have charged me $4,500 for taking off the CPC, sending it off to get fixed, and then bringing it back and putting everything back together. $4,500. Then he would have got my truck back and noticed that it's still doing the same thing, and then would have charged me extra to do whatever that Freightliner did. Hopefully he would have did what Freightliner did, which probably would have been another $2,000 or something like that. So now he would have got me for like $6,000-$7,000 before I would got my truck back. Plus my truck would have been down for 3 to 4 weeks, which is crazy, man. Like, we gotta watch. We gotta do our get knowledgeable, get an understanding and get knowledge on your truck when you get your truck, man. Like, try to. Lord, the word I'm looking for. Lord, I'm having the brain freeze, man. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Try to learn everything you need to know about your truck once you get it. I'm talking about Googling, looking on YouTube in your spare time, on Freightliner's problems that Freightliner go through at such and such miles, you know, so you can help prevent that when it comes to help prevent it. You know, when you get us at a certain amount of miles, you know, you might want to go ahead and say, okay, I got some money saved up. Let me go ahead and tackle this right here, because I'm seeing a lot of on these forums that when you get to a certain amount of miles, that you need to do this for these trucks. I mean, it can help save you downtime and extra money, towing money and everything. But in my experience with these guys, the review, man, stay away from these guys, man. This is my review that I'm leaving on these guys. You know, this is my experience, my review, just like me going on Yelp and leaving a review up under their comments. This is my review. Stay away from those guys. I just don't like how they tried to get me. I think they tried to get over on me. And then also, I looked at a video on YouTube, and they said that guys are breaking into shops when all these trucks going into shops. They're breaking into shops and getting these CPC out these trucks, because all it is you take this panel off right here, and it's right there. It's like 3 bolts holding that CPC on, you know. And they're breaking into trucks that's in the shop and stealing the CPCs out of them because they're so hard to find. They're so rare. Not rare, but you know, they're on back order. Right now they're rare, yeah, but they're on back order because I guess the situation with the pandemic and everything's going on, and the demand for them, they can't make them fast enough, you know. And then there's a video on a guy saying, how can you remake these? Like, how can you fix these? There's no way to fix a CPC. How is he fixing it? Like, if you look at that video, I wish I could, I wish I had to save that video so I can post it so y'all can see it, just in case y'all run into these issues. How can a guy fix a CPC when, if y'all look at that video, how to fix a CPC, that video will come up. And y'all will see all the components in there. It's like a little computer motherboard. Like, how is he fixing this? How does it tell that this is bad? You know, it's like they're scamming out here, man. Like, and if you don't know no better, or have a mechanic in your back pocket, or, you know, are parts knowledgeable, service knowledgeable, mechanic knowledgeable, you're gonna get ran over out here, bro. It's gonna run you out of business because these shops are cutthroat out here, man. Once they get you in these shops, they run all kind of stuff up on it. Once they see that you don't know what you're talking about, or you're not knowledgeable, man, they're gonna run over you, man. They definitely gonna run over you. They're gonna have your bill up here, and before you know it, you ain't gonna be able to pay that damn bill. They got your truck sitting at their shop. Now they're charging you storage fee, and after a while, you're gonna be like, man, I can't get that damn truck. You done moved on to the next truck, or moved on to another company, went back to being a company driver, or just got into business, period, and they got them a truck that they can go down to the courthouse. No matter if you still paying on it or not, they gonna call the folks and say, hey, this truck has this bill here. Do y'all want to pay it or no? 9 times out of 10, they done run the bill up so high, the loan company gonna say, no, we don't want it. Okay, well, send me over the paperwork so that I can go get the title for it at the courthouse. Now they got your truck. About to sell your truck. Doesn't make money off your truck. More money off your truck. So just be aware, man, y'all. Do your research. Run into any issues on the road, man. Stop. Get in a safe space, safe spot. Start Googling before you go into these shops. Because 9 times out of 10, there's something on the internet with these trucks that somebody done went through the same problem you done went through. Somebody done had it. You know, so you can tell the shop exactly what to look for, what to do, and explain it to them a little more better, so they won't be having you in these shops for weeks and weeks and weeks trying to find out what's going on with your truck. You know? And keep your truck up, man. Keep your oil changed, keep your filters changed and everything like that, man. Do all your preventative maintenance on a scheduled basis that they're supposed to be scheduled, man, and you'll be all right, man. This is the first time I've been in the shop in over 3 years that I've been down for a week for over 3 years since I had this truck. You know, because I try to keep my truck up, you know. But that's the end of the video, man. I just wanted to share my experience with you all, man. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe, man. And if you need have a comment, leave a comment down below and anything, man. So peace out, man. It's your boy Double J.